Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Carlos. We are live. Go Big Huskers. Carlos is on the call. So good morning to everyone out there in Facebook. Welcome to Friday, episode 48, actually, 48. So if you take a moment, we'd like you to like it, share the podcast so we can get this shared far and wide. That would be greatly appreciated. So just take a moment to like and share the Followup Friday podcast, guys, if you wouldn't mind, please. You can find it, obviously, on Steve for Home Loan. And also, you should be able to access it on Carlos CC Sabalos CC Hustle. So there it is. I'm going to go also put it on my personal page, personal timeline. And we'll get started. So hopefully everyone's having a great Friday. It's a rainy day here in Kansas City. Rainy day Friday here in Kansas City. So hopefully everyone is staying warm because it's a little chilly outside here in Kansas City. What I'm going to put in the comments as well is a link to an article that we'll discuss for dominant follow-up strategies. For those of you who have been with us and joined us before, you'll recognize this article from time to time. We will go back and reference it. We will always reference it when we're talking about the number of attempts that one should make when they're calling. So dominant follow-up strategies. There's some really good information that's contained in this article, and we also use that mnemonic graphic, that infographic, quite a bit and reference it quite a bit. So if you check the comments now, you will have a copy of the article, the link to the article, I should say. So check your comments and let me know if for some reason it's not there. All right, guys, listen, happy Friday. Happy 48th Follow-Up Friday. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. 48 sessions. I was talking to Ian the other day, Carlos, and he and I were talking about, how we just started this on a whim, and he's like, man, it's cool you guys, still doing that. I remember when you just started, you guys just picked up the phone, went live and started talking about Follow-Up Friday. How you doing, man? How are you?
I know it was funny. It was weird because yesterday I was talking with another agent and we were talking about follow-up with some of the other agents. I was telling them that a lot of this we've talked about how another agent didn't follow up with their, they sent them out for pre-approval, and to get pre-approved, and then the people couldn't get a hold of them, the agent again, and they never followed up with them. And so then they went out and they ended up calling me.
I know you've had at least 2 or 3 customers you picked up as a result of that. At least 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And that's what we were talking about yesterday. It's amazing. And then I'm like, yeah, that's kind of, we were talking about that. And then I told him, I said, Stephen and I were talking about it. And then that's kind of what led into the Follow-Up Friday. We picked up the phone one day. So that's amazing. I was just talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, that's funny. I saw Ian, as a matter of fact, and he was meeting with somebody, and afterwards we started chatting, and he mentioned that. So I thought that was cool, man. So how's your week been, man? Speaking of Follow-Up Friday, how's your week been?
Good. It's been really good. It's been hectic. I've been doing a lot of real estate, and it's been productive. I like it. I like it.
That's good. Doing a lot of commercial stuff, I see still, huh?
Yeah. We got a lot of opportunities that came forward with us. And did you hear about the Whataburgers going in on 135th? You know where Salty Iguanas is on 135th and Antioch?
Yeah.
It used to be Salty Iguanas. They're going there. Whataburger.
Whataburger. Okay. Wow.
Coming into town. That's a Texas, South.
Yeah. South. Yeah. Wow. Well, we already have Shake Shack. So that's I guess Whataburger has to make its entry as well into this great market. Kansas City is a great market, so
That's right.
I think a lot of people will find out Kansas City is a great market, good place to be. Well, man, listen, I thought it would be good to talk about four dominant follow-up strategies. Kind of walk through that article again because we've had Kristen on, we've had a number of different topics, but boy, it's just the items that are in that article are just so prevalent in everything. It's pretty consistent. So I thought we kind of go through and review that again, man, because one, it's so much information in there, it's so good, but then also we've had so many people that we've talked to lately and run into who are using these strategies, and I thought that was just pretty cool and maybe good to kind of go over that again as well. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love those strategies.
Yeah,
I saw that article you tagged me in the other day, a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Good stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So this article, we always reference this article, I would say at least once a podcast, regardless of what the topic is, because we talk about the progression of the sale. And so we reference this article quite a bit, which is a good thing. Contacts. So the number of attempts, the number of contacts, 43% on the first one, salespeople give up, 68% give up after the second contact, 80 after the third, and contact 4 is low-hanging fruit, meaning, by the time they pick up the phone, they're ready for us because we've been consistently following up. Contact 5, we're getting to know their needs. We're the only one making 6 contacts, and by the time it gets to the 7th attempt, we're the only option. When they're ready, we're the only option they're going to go to. Kristen, we talked about that with Kristen on the mutual insurance. When I was ready, she was the only one I was going to because she owned Mindshare, right? There was not even another option, not even another thought of anyone else when I was ready to do the insurance stuff. So that's a perfect example. So great infographic. 9 ways to improve follow-up results. And this is good stuff. We can kind of chop through this one for the majority of this article. Using a follow-up schedule. Carlos, my schedule. You've seen mine. Talk a little bit about your follow-up schedule. I'm going to pull mine up too while you're talking. The importance of it.
Well, my schedule, I usually try to follow up with my people as much as I can. I know it sounds obsessive, but I try to meet up with them and get in contact with them as much as I possibly can. So I set my follow-up schedule on a daily basis. And yeah, that's exactly, with your calendar, I set it up in my system and I put dates and times and what I need to follow up with. Obviously, if it's a situation that I do need to follow up with them, on Monday, I put it towards Monday. Mm-hmm. But when I get a new client, or if I meet somebody and I want to keep following up with them, I figure out a way to, let's say I got a new client 2 days ago, and today I'll follow up with her again. She's looking for duplexes. Mm-hmm. So my strategy is to figure out how I can help her find a duplex as fast as possible, or something that's good.
Right.
And so I get as many as I possibly can, and I schedule it day after day, because then it gives me a reason to build up a relationship.
Right.
I find reasons, not like just random reasons. I find, if I look for duplexes as fast, I work as fast as I can to get as many as I can for her. And then I'll send her some the next day and say, hey, what do you think of these? And then I talk to her, because then it gives me an opportunity. I've already talked to her twice. Mm-hmm. I've met her. I met her 2 days ago, and I've already talked to her. Well, I talked to her 3 times in 2 days. So today I'll talk to her again, because last night I looked and I found some more opportunities for her. But I'm building up a relationship as I go too.
Right. There you go.
Follow up for me. And then as long as if she's going to buy something, that's fine. But she sounds like her and her husband's going to wait till next month. So I'm going to keep just sending her stuff and communicating and building that relationship up, knowing that way she knows who I am.
Right.
But then I'm going to also set a schedule up for the first of the month.
You're getting into that
then I
mindset
just try to follow up with them on a weekly basis. Every Tuesday, I try to follow up with my new clients.
Nice.
Wednesdays, I try to follow up with my clients that I've been working with, or if I got deals going or potential deals, I follow up with them on Wednesdays. So I have a little strategy. Like today, I usually follow up with my referral partners.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I have it structured to where I do the same thing every week.
Good. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. So you kind of customize your follow-up schedule as well to build into the early part of it, to the relationship building as well, it sounds like too, right? You hear me okay, Carlos? You there? Did I lose you? Can you hear me, Carlos? Noah Scoochen?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to take. How about now? Can you hear me okay? Carlos? Let me remove you and then I'll add you back in. Let's try this. Carlos, how is that? Carlos? Carlos, can you hear me? Anybody else hear me out there? Let's do your audio. Carlos, you might try to log off and log back in. See if that works. Try that, Carlos. Guys, you can see on my screen, I have a schedule, a follow-up schedule by day. There's certain activities or certain people I'm going to touch by day. And obviously my CRM is integrated in to do that. But you can see on my screen here that I'm sharing with you that each day there's an activity.
It's me, my volume. I can't hear you.
Okay.
So just give me a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Got it. You can see each day there's activities that are set up for me to follow up on, realtor days, past clients, client updates, calling new leads. You can see in here, and I just removed it, but I had a call time, from 8 to 9 a.m. There it is, call time. So from 8 to 9 a.m., I'm making calls. So having a follow-up schedule is very important, and putting it in a place to where you can be held accountable and follow that, if you will, is important. So your calendar is probably one of the most important places you can put it. Let's flip back over to the article real quickly. And we'll go on to the next one while we wait for Carlos to log back in, using different contact formats. So we've talked about that as well before, different contact formats, email, text messaging, thank you notes, telephone calls, differentiating the ways that you're going to contact and reach out to people. Some people are more responsive to text messaging. Some people are more responsive to telephone calls. So differentiating your contact formats and how you're going to reach out and contact them. Timing your follow-up for maximum impact. That's kind of a little bit what Carlos was talking about when he said initially when he gets a new prospect, how it's important for him to contact them a little more frequently, try to build a relationship up with them. So he's timing his follow-up for maximum impact. You can do that if you're a prospector and you're calling different times of the day is a great way to time your follow-up for maximum impact. Calling sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the evening, sometimes at lunch we can catch people, sometimes on the weekends, allocating some time to call at different times or to reach out at different times to maximize your impact is something that's also very helpful and something good to do. Leveraging email templates. So I've got an email template that I use for a number of different contacts, whether it be refinance or introductions and things of that nature. But leveraging your email templates is very important. To have some templates set up, whether it be on your phone, whether it be on your Outlook or your Gmail or whatever you use. Have some email templates set up and utilize those and differentiate the emails that you're going to send out If you've got an automated system, you can set it up that way to where it automatically sends out day 1, day 2, day 3, different type of emails. But utilize email templates. Leverage email templates is a really good thing to do. Tracking actual contact attempts. So this is important. Obviously, if you're working with a CRM, this is going to do it for you. But if you don't, and you've got a manual process of calling, which is totally fine, tracking the number of actual attempts. Why is that important? Why is tracking the number of actual attempts important? Well, let's go back and look at the progression of a sale again, this infographic. The number of contacts that you make has a significant impact on your level of effectiveness and your ability to convert that client from a prospect to a client or to a sale. As you can see, we talked about contact one and the difference in terms of the salespeople that give up. It's very important to track your contact attempts, because for one, you should know how many times you've attempted to reach out to that person. But also, it's important for you to keep in mind, where am I at on this continuum scale, right? Because the closer and the more you get to 3, 4, 5 attempts, 6 attempts, the greater your chances are of converting that person into a client. Carlos, can you hear us now?
We can hear you.
All right, my man. We're talking about tracking contact attempts, which is something I know you do. You're old school with it, Carlos. I know you track contact attempts. Why is that important? Why is it important to track our contact attempts with people?
Well, the number one, the biggest reason is to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're actually doing. If you don't, that's holding yourself accountable.
Yeah.
I think if I don't track what I'm doing, how many calls I'm making, how many people I've talked to, then it shows me, okay, people don't realize that if you don't keep track of it, you don't know. You don't know if you're not doing enough, or you don't know if you need to do more.
That's right.
Trying to be nice about it, but sometimes it's, you're slacking, and I am old school, and I know that, it's a numbers game. So I have to track how many people I've talked to, how many people I've been in front of, because then it shows the quality that I'm doing too. It gets, if I need to get better at making the amount of phone calls or talking to the amount of people, you just know exactly where you need to get better at.
Right.
You don't know if you don't know your numbers, you don't know what you need to do. And I have spreadsheets for that. If people want to use it, it's different for every business, but overall, I have a generic one that is, you keep track of all your attempts. Because then that way, if your percentage is low and you need to get that percentage up, you just need, it's your work. It's like, if I'm running a 10-minute mile, and I want to be at an 8-minute mile, what you need to do, you keep track of that time, figure out if I need to get faster or where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's like the numbers. You got to keep track of your
and when our numbers might be down, or our success might be down in terms of converting stuff, sometimes, it might be because we're not making enough attempts. We're not contacting. So, tracking our actual contact attempts also is very helpful for us to see, am I on pace to be as successful so far this week or so far this month as I have been the past months or weeks? And if I look at those contact attempts, that's going to tell me, right? If my contact attempts are down, ultimately it's going to lead to my conversions, my sales. It's going to lead to a down day, a down month, right? Because it's all driven off of how many times I'm making attempts and how much contacts I'm making, right? So absolutely, I agree completely.
People don't realize it's the money thing. I go backwards. I put my dollar amount. I know I need to make this much money every month. I know I need to save this much money every month. I know that I need to make this dollar amount in my future, a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year plans.
I know how much money, and I work backwards, and I figure, okay, how many deals? Okay, I make this much money on this. How many deals do I have to do to make this money? And then I work backwards. What do I need to do to close this many deals? And then how many people, and it's the percentage. You got to know you got to track your actual contacts.
Yeah.
You got to track all of that stuff.
That's very well said. I mean, it goes back to what Kristen Herman was talking about when she gave us those stats.
Right.
It's that those are the stats. And so if you're not getting, how do I get 10 qualified prospects to pitch? Well, I got to make a certain number of contacts, and I got to know, am I making enough contacts to generate one actual qualified prospect? And once I know how many attempts it takes to get one, then I need to understand, like you just said, okay, well, how much more activity do I need to generate now to get 10 so that I can convert 3 to a meeting and 1 to an actual long-term client, right? So you're right. Back it in is great. That's a good point. Very good point. Kind of back into the numbers, Carlos.
Yeah, you got to. The biggest part is that if you're not making enough money, that's the reason. Is because you're not tracking.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You're not tracking those people. You're not tracking what you're doing on a daily basis. People go every day and they have no clue
what they did.
They sit here and say, well, I talked to this person today and I talked to this person today. I talked to this one today. I made this phone call today. But do you really, truly know what you're doing and how many you're doing? Because it's not enough. Or, if you're not making enough, then it's not enough.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. 100%. Always get agreement on next steps. I think that, a lot of times we might set an appointment and not necessarily do any confirmation or gain some agreement. Obviously follow up and checking on the appointment, but always getting agreement on the next steps. And you were off. So let me back up for a second real quickly. You were off when we talked about timing your follow-up for maximum impact. You were describing that in terms of how you may differentiate your follow-up schedule in order to make the maximum impact. You were off when I started talking about this, but that's exactly what you were describing, right? Early on, you might follow up a little more frequently. Is that what you were describing, right?
Yep. The time is right. I mean, the biggest part is people, like I said before, if they like you, trust in you, and believe in you, they'll buy from you.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do business with you, whatever. Mm-hmm. If they're buying product, doing business, whatever. Mm-hmm. But if they like you, trust in you, believe in you, then they'll do business with you. So if you don't time the follow-up right, if you don't maximize the impact, and you don't build that relationship up, because if they don't like you and they don't trust you and they don't know you, and they don't believe in your thoughts, then they're not going to do business with you. So you got to get that relationship built up, and you got to time that follow-up. There's people out there that, meet somebody and then they don't hear from them until next month because they timed out, they put that follow-up. Oh, I'll follow up in a week. I have a financial planner that calls me once every 6 months, probably. I don't know the guy. He's probably been doing it for 2 years. but he puts his follow-up, 6 months from now or 3 months from now, because he is on the phone call saying, well, can I follow up with you in 5 months? I don't know if you're trying to put your numbers, your phone calls in 5 months from now. Mm-hmm. But I don't know you. You know what I mean? If I don't know people, I don't trust people, I don't believe in them, I'm not going to do business with him. He's going to, and he's been doing that, but he doesn't care to figure out who I am or what I do. He doesn't care about building that relationship up. So all he does is make phone calls 6 months from now or 1 year from now. Right. Or a month from now, and he doesn't, and it's not the right thing to do.
Right. There's a better way to do it. Hey, talk a little bit about, this is something I see you do on all of your social media platforms. using content to expand the range of potential touch points. You use content and you're in multiple areas of touch points for consumers, YouTube, things of that nature. You have talk to text, you've got, obviously phones, emails. Talk a little bit about this one and how you're using content, because you're the first one that I've seen really come up with, the multi-platform communications, the talk to text, to chat, telephone line, and things of that nature, so that people can reach you in the ways that are most convenient. But talk a little bit about that one and your philosophy on that one and thought process.
So, I make sure that, when I first started sales, it was nothing like this. Mm-hmm. You had to go out and meet people, literally use your feet. You had to go talk to people, or you had to pick up the phone.
Right.
There was some emails, obviously, but people weren't using it a ton. But now it's like, look, I have so much more potential to hit people faster, sooner, quicker, and so much more reach to do. Mm-hmm. And I think using content on a broad, I'm always putting content out. I'm trying. I try to do with my schedule. I try to put as much as I can out. But the big range is being able to get sales, get people. I get messages all day long. Like I got, I was at meetings yesterday and I got 5 different messages from different platforms. I got it from Instagram.
Did you?
Yep, I got it. Yeah, I'm starting to get messages. Some of them are spam, but I'm starting to get clients messaging me on Instagram, and then I got some on my Facebook business page, and then I get them on my personal page, but then I also get some, I get some messages going through Google now. Mm-hmm. So, but I turn on all those notifications because it's like your cell phone, Yeah. That's my biggest thing is when the cell phone rings, you pick it up. Yeah. So when my messages come in, I don't care if it's a phone call or if it's a message. I'm going to try to touch everybody in all those platforms. So then that way I get my potential, Right. I could do my work at behind my computer, which I tell people all the time, I do not like it. It's one of my weaknesses.
Right.
I would rather be out meeting people and talking to people, but if I'm going to do it, I might as well maximize my social media, get my content out there and maximize that potential to get messages coming from all different directions. I try to direct the majority of my content to call me.
Right.
Or text to chat, because text is the number one thing right now. I try to direct it to that to make it easier. But yeah, I think it's a great idea to just maximize your content in all different platforms.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, because that's something you've kind of helped me expand beyond my initial walk into Facebook, and just watching what you're doing.
So how many messages are you checking your messages now? I see the thing is I notice a big difference in your work now, because you messaged me on Facebook. You never used Facebook before.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
On Facebook, and that wasn't a thing for you before. So now I know you're using it.
Yeah, I am, because I get messages.
Right.
I get messages. So it's now something I check on a daily basis. I get the notifications, of course, it pop up on my phone. But, now it is something I check. I check that. I check LinkedIn. I check Twitter. I check Reddit. I'm on Reddit now. So I definitely have, by watching and your encouragement, have expanded the platforms and trying to use content to expand the range of potential touch points for people that are interested in what I'm offering, whether it be mortgages, real estate, professional development, assistance, whatever, right? I'm definitely using multiple touch points. So
do you feel that have you gotten any more business off of social media in 2020?
Yeah, I have. I mean, I've gotten more business off of social media in 2020 than I ever have, than ever have. I've created some really good relationships as a result of the presence of us being on this particular weekly podcast. I've had people reach out to me, and I love it. They reach out, and some people are reaching out to sell something. Some people are reaching out to establish a relationship, and I respond to every one of those. You know why? Because I've got to follow up, and I never know what the potential is. I never know what the potential is.
You don't know. You don't know if they're going to buy from you, if they need your services. You don't know if they're going to refer you business.
Right.
You don't know if they're going to, help you out in some way. You have no clue. That's why I talk to everybody. Every idea what they could do for you.
And it's happened. I've responded to one, and it's been someone referring me business. I've responded to one, it's someone who needed my services. I've responded to one, and it's someone I couldn't help, but that doesn't matter. We have to follow up. We have to respond back to them because we don't know when that person might be a potential customer. We also don't know, if they know someone or if they want to refer us business. So it's important to follow up, man. It doesn't take long to follow up. It just doesn't, and if we use some of the tools and some of the suggestions, even offered in this article, it doesn't take long. It does not take very long. Set a schedule, allocate some time, in your day. That's what Fridays can be a great day for some people. Some people maybe Monday evening. It doesn't matter, but allocate some time to it. And then when you get those people who might reach out or people you need to follow up with, that's the time we have set aside to do it. So there's really no reason why it can't get done. Doesn't take long.
Yeah, you have to use that schedule. You absolutely have to put it on your schedule. I have on my schedule, and it's not a follow-up thing, but I have on my schedule to wake up, dress up, and be ready.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It tells me every day I see it pop up on my phone.
Right.
You know what I mean? Every day it tells me to get up and work out. Every day it tells me to, I have that. You got to use that schedule. You got to schedule that follow-up because it's your assistant. You know what I mean? Right. You could get a lot accomplished a lot more efficiently in a day if you put it on your schedule and use a follow-up schedule.
Well, failing to plan is planning to fail. I've always heard that, right? Failing to plan is planning to fail. And we can't really leave things to chance. So, we have to, take the time to plan and then follow it and implement it and do it, right? So, but planning to fail is failing to plan is planning to fail, essentially. So we have two options. We can either plan to succeed or we can plan to fail. And if we don't do anything, we're planning to fail.
Right. And people think, oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing work. I'm doing this. I see people do work, but it's not holding themselves accountable. If it's not a schedule, if it's not the tracking, if you're not tracking how many people you talk to, you don't realize that you're not doing enough.
That's right.
To get the amount of money that you want.
Right.
You're like, man, this just isn't working. This business just isn't working. I'm not making enough money. I got to find something else to do. It's not working because it's not the business. It's not working because you're not doing enough.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, well, good stuff, man. We've come to the end of this article. This is a great article. I've got a link to today's article, 4 dominant follow-up strategies that work. We actually, one of the pieces of this article is talking 9 ways to radically improve your follow-up results. So we actually went through just one of the 4 ways, 4 dominant strategies, using a follow-up schedule, different contact formats, timing your follow-up for maximum impact, using different email templates, tracking the contact attempts. Those are just some of the things that we talked about today. Good stuff. Get in the article, read it. More importantly, allocate and set up some time to follow up. Friday's a great day to follow up. That's how we started this, and that's why we started it, because you know what? We needed to have at least 1 hour a day 1 hour a week or 1 hour a month. It doesn't matter to follow up with some people. That's all that matters. And a little bit of that done consistently has big results.
Yeah, and you're going to get to that point where, like, I'm sitting here thinking 1 hour, wow, I wish I could do it 1 hour, but I have to do more because, and it doesn't take long. It's, the phone calls doesn't take long. Making a lot of phone calls does not take long. People don't realize it. It's just, you got to schedule it. You got to schedule your follow-up. You got to schedule your calls. You got to schedule what you do on a daily basis.
And then you got to do it.
Yep. And if you don't, if you have a customer and you send them out to do something, if you send them out to pre-approval, if you send them, they got to fix their credit or they got to do something for, what your business is, make sure you follow up with them, because it's tough out there, and people don't realize that you got to get everything you can get.
That's right. Absolutely. Got to keep the funnel coming. Got to keep the queue full, right? And so, real important to make sure we do that. So we'll leave today's session with just a reminder: the progression of a sale. A prospect to a customer. 43% of the people give up after the first attempt. 68% after the second. 80% after the third. Low-hanging fruit sits in 4. But where we want to be is we want to be mind share. We want to own mind share. So when that person thinks about printing, commercial real estate, mortgages, whatever, when they think about that, we want to pop into their head automatically because we've made the attempts, we've made the contacts, we've attempted to build relationship, we've attempted to do those things that most people stop doing after the third choice, right? The third contact, they stop doing it. And we want to be that only one continuing to make that contact, continue to build those relationships. That's the progression of a sale. The numbers don't lie.
It doesn't matter what industry you're in. You could be you could be in the restaurant business. You could be in the tire business. You could be in you could be in any kind of business. You just want to be in front of these people. When a car breaks down, you want to be that person that they think of. Oh, I can go to this person. I see a ton of people out there that are always asking questions. Who's your tree guy? Who's your, who's this guy? Who's this guy? And I'm like sitting here thinking, I love the fact that people go out there and ask all those questions because there's sometimes I could pick up business out of it. But it's like you need to get out there and be in front of people because there's a lot of people that don't know your industry. And I'm talking about every business out there, we have a agent that was looking for somebody that does, that takes out the rodents, the bats and, who takes out those animals. And I'm like thinking, well, I don't even know somebody that does that. And I'm like, I thought about that yesterday. I'm like, I don't know anybody that does that takes out those, the bats and the
rodents.
The rodents.
Absolutely. It's
you got to follow up. You got to stay in contact. You got to be in front of people.
Some good stats here. That's in this article. Talks about first call attempt, the probability of making a contact, right? This just calling. 48% on the first, 81% on the third, 93% chance of making a contact on the sixth call attempt. Why is it important to have, multiple contact attempts? 93% chance on the sixth contact. It talks about calling 6 times is 94% better than calling once, and the same research reveals leads contacted after the sixth call are almost 50%, 45% less likely to convert than leads contacted prior to that point. So
do you realize that I call people, like I said, in 2 days, I talked to this lady 3 times. Mm-hmm. So I called her twice in 1 day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like it's a nagging thing, even if you have to find out a question or find out an answer, she asks a question, I don't know, let me find out. But you know what? That gives you a reason to find an answer, and then you call her back instantly. You don't have to wait 2 days. You don't have to follow up with her in 3 days. You call her back instantly. You know what I mean? Because in those amount of calls is true and accurate. Because the more I call this lady, the more I talk to her, the more I develop relationship, the higher percentage that I'm going to convert her to a client.
Yeah, because look at this. The probability of making a contact goes up the more attempts that we make. The odds of a call being made goes down because most people are not fishing in this pond here. Most people give up. They give up. Most of them give up. So the stats and the statistics show the more we make attempts, the more likely we are to making a contact, and the more contacts, the higher the conversion. Whereas most people are giving up over here. They're giving up. So, hey, it should be encouraging to track your contacts. If you're old school like me and Carlos, you can track them. If you got a CRM, it tracks it for you. You know, it should be encouraging when you start seeing 3 contacts, 4 contacts, 5 contacts, because you know nobody else is calling. And what happens is they're going to pick up the phone. That's why they're going to pick up the phone. Everybody's calling after the first or second attempt. But after that third and fourth attempt, most people are stopped calling. So they're going to pick up the telephone. That's why the contact rate goes up so high. They're going to pick up.
And even if you guys don't have a CRM, or if you guys want a spreadsheet, I have a spreadsheet that I can send you guys. You can always message us, or you can text me at 913-703-7000. And I'll send you that spreadsheet, and you guys can use it. Even if you don't have a CRM tracks it. We do have free, we've gave out a couple ideas of some CRMs that can help you track it. HubSpot tracks that stuff, right?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. Absolutely, it does. To track call attempts. I'm putting this in the comments. Text to chat. Text Carlos 913-703-7000 to get a copy of the tracking spreadsheet. Track your call attempts.
People, I got it all. I got call attempts. I got, how many times you sit in front of a person, how many coffees you make, if you have lunch with them. I have the whole shebang. How many calls you should make in a day. I have it all in one little spreadsheet. It doesn't take long. I track it. I'm old school. I still track it on a spreadsheet. I can pull a report, but I use so many different CRMs. Yeah, and I'm working on that. I'm trying to combine. Did you see I put a post out there about Office 365?
Yes.
because I'm trying to, just like what, I'm not an expert at this stuff, but I'm trying to get my CRMs. I'm trying to get one system to where I can do this.
Yeah.
Because I want to be able to get these people in there, and I have so many things going on, like keeping track of our print job or keeping track of our clients over there. I have so many different ones. I'm trying to combine them. So I was looking at this Office 365, and you on some of the comments, there was like, yes, powerful, but it's frustrating because I was trying to set it up, and it's not like a dummy down, this is for dummies setup,
Mm-hmm.
It's still a little frustrating, and I'm trying to set it up, and so I can get it all in one.
Yeah, it takes a little while to get it, but you'll get it set up. It's just going to take a little while to do it, as anything with Microsoft.
Yeah.
Guys, listen, before we leave you, we want to leave you with this image, this particular graphic up here. The probability of making a contact goes up the more attempts you make. The odds that somebody else in your field is making those calls as well goes down. This is not rocket science. This is long research done over 50 years or more, right? I think Kristen said over 50 years, right?
Yeah. It's numbers, guys. It's still, it works. Don't what do they say? Don't fix something that's not broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is just the numbers. This is how it is. It's a numbers game. You keep it up. You keep doing it. You do more. And you'll be successful at it.
That's right. Awesome. All right, my friend. We'll have a good rainy day Friday. Good weekend.
I'm heading to Iowa.
Are you? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I see you got that Cornhusker flashing on the chest. So
Tomorrow, babies. Tomorrow.
yeah, Lincoln becomes the second largest city in the state, right? On Saturdays, right?
That's right. That's right. It's been so long, man. What is this, October now? And we're just getting to our first game.
Yeah. Have a
Crazy.
good time, man. Be safe.
All right, man.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.